Reimagining Family Wealth, the Global Rise of Decentralized Finance. In this class, you're going to learn how everyday families are creating lasting financial stability through DeFi technology. Have you noticed how everything costs more right now? Of course we have. It's pretty crazy, but I'm going to break it down for you just in case you forgot a couple of things, right? We want to take a look at the top 15 economic challenges facing average Americans in 2025 right now. Of course, the high cost of living. Everything is increasing in value. I think everybody would agree with that. More people than ever are living paycheck to paycheck. It used to be 47%, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's 57 to 62%. People are struggling in America. Of course, there are unprecedented layoffs. We hear about it all the time. It's across the board, all different industries. And of course, jobs are being replaced by AI. And if you're not being caught up with AI and not in the front of that learning curve, well, that could cost you, right? And then, of course, there's wage stagnation. We got rising costs, but the salaries are not going up, right? And then also, a lot of people don't have emergency expenses. Look at this. 4 in 10 adults can't cover a $1,000 emergency without using some kind of credit. Then, of course, there's student loan debt. That's come back now. It now totals over 1.7 trillion. And then housing is very expensive now. And foreclosures are going up, right? Now, if that was all of it, that would be too much. But that's not. There's more. There's car repossessions. Maybe you heard about CarMax. They just fired their CEO, this guy who's been there for 20 or 30 years because of all of the repossessions, ladies and gentlemen. And then also there's soaring credit card debt. The balances exceed 1.3 trillion, right? We're talking about 22 to 25% annual percentage rates. And of course, healthcare, that's been all in the news and how that's increasing in cost. Retirement insecurity, millions of people are underfunded. Their 401ks and their pension plans just not producing like people had hoped. And we talked about the car repossessions, the soaring credit card debt. People are defaulting on their credit card debts as well. And then, of course, we talked about health insurance and the retirement insecurity. But here's the good news. There is a solution, ladies and gentlemen. And this solution is something that most people know nothing about. And so if anyone invited you here on this call, listen, that's a good thing. You're absolutely in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to introduce you to a concept called DeFi, which stands for Decentralized Finance. It is banking without banks. It gives everyday people the ability to earn, to grow wealth directly, and is powered by computer code instead of corporations. It's the future of finance that's happening right now that most people know very little about. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. This technology is completely automated. It doesn't involve any day trading. It's 100% passive. You always have 100% access to your funds. There is no recruiting required. There is instant withdrawals that hit your account within seconds. Your money compounds multiple times a day. In fact, 3 times a day, triple compounding. It is long-term and it is verifiable. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the thing you need to understand is that you have got to understand compound interest, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 8th wonder of the world. Now, this is so important that we've got to take a little time to break this down for you. So compound interest is powerful because it allows you and I, our money to grow exponentially over time, meaning that you can earn interest on both the original deposit and the interest that has already been added to it. So here's why it's so powerful. It's interest on interest, ladies and gentlemen. With simple interest, you only earn interest on the initial amount. But with compound interest, you earn interest on your initial amount plus the interest you have already earned. With each period, your base keeps getting larger and larger. In addition to that, I need you to see this. It's all about time. You have got to give time. Compound interest works the more time you allow. So you got to start thinking 90 days to 6 months, ladies and gentlemen. See, time is the magic ingredient because time supercharges compound interest. The longer you leave your money deposited, the more it accelerates. and even if you stop adding money to it. But here's the thing, if you want to accelerate it, if you want to redeem the time, you want to start with as large deposit as you possibly can, and you want to add more money consistently, perhaps every week, perhaps every month. This is going to increase the effect even more. Now, here's the thing, compound interest can also work against you, right? For example, those credit cards that we have, those mortgage loans, those car loans, ladies and gentlemen, you know, that compound interest that they charge us, guess what? It will eat you alive. If you don't find a way to make principal payments on those high interest credit cards, they will literally eat you alive and it'll seem like you're paying on them forever. And so here's the thing. Albert Einstein, he said this, he said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. We're going to show you how to earn it, ladies and gentlemen, to the point where you have enough money coming in to pay all of your bills and then even more. All right, let's get into it. So now, in this session, you're going to learn about several different things, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to learn about the power of technology to create supplemental income without recruiting, without selling, and without trading. And it also gives you the ability to grow your wealth long term without you talking to anyone should you decide not to do so. So, two concepts, two definitions that you need to understand, because this is all about staking. You need to understand what is staking. So I want you to imagine that you have some money, but instead of letting it sit in your wallet doing nothing, you put it in a savings account where the bank rewards you with interest. Only thing, we're not talking about a bank at all. We're talking about cryptocurrency, because you can do it with cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen. So how does staking work? You deposit crypto. Your crypto helps secure a specific network. The blockchain network uses your staked crypto to validate transactions and keep everything moving smoothly. So you get rewards. In return for staking, the network rewards you with cryptocurrency, just like earning interest in a bank. So how do you make money from staking? You earn new coins. The network regularly pays you a percentage of your staked crypto as a reward. And then there's compound growth, because your deposits can grow even more because of compounding. And then there's price growth. If the value of the cryptocurrency increases, your stake assets and rewards also become more valuable. So in a nutshell, staking is a great way that you can earn extra money with your crypto while you do nothing. It's like a magic piggy bank that gives you more coins just for keeping them inside, but with access to your funds 24/7, 365. Now, the other term that you need to understand is, what is a smart contract, ladies and gentlemen? A smart contract is like a digital vending machine that runs on the blockchain. You put something in like money or crypto, and if the right conditions are met, it automatically does what it's programmed to do. No person needed to approve it or to run it. It's a self-executing agreement. It's built with computer code instead of lawyers. It is trustworthy, it is automated, and it is tamper-proof. It is technology at its finest. We've all seen what has happened with AI and the advancements that it has and the things that it has enabled people to do. I want you to think finance now and think smart contract. It enables us to do advancements in the area of finances, just like AI enables people to do advancements in other areas. You have to understand this. So now I'd like to welcome all of you to Origin LGNS. It is a trend-setting Web3 staking protocol. Is all about the power of decentralized finance. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So what makes Origin different, you might be asking? First of all, this is not brand new. In fact, it has a successful 5.5-year track record. The first project is called Olympus Ohm. It's been running successfully for over 4 years. We're going to take a look at it in just a moment. This project is called LGNS, has been running successfully for over 19 months without a CEO and without a headquarters. And yet, as of today, the project and the community continues to thrive and to grow, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the thing, you don't have to take my word for it, because people lie, but numbers don't. Let's look at the numbers. $452 million in liquidity, over $5.9 billion market cap, over $52 million traded over the last 24 hours, and over 1.66 million wallets from people all around the world connected to this protocol, growing every single day. And the computer code, it's verified, it's audited, and it is renounced, meaning that no one can touch the money. We're going to show you all that here in just a moment. And your funds are not locked down. So unlike a CD, for example, that locks your money down for years, not here. You can access all of your money or any part of it. You can withdraw it. It'll be in your wallet within seconds. There is no lockdown period. You can withdraw your entire balance, including your deposit, at any time. And there are some amazing bonus pools, ladies and gentlemen, that literally pays out millions of dollars a week. And there is an optional referral program. Should you decide to share this with other people, you can build a community that can literally wrap around the world, and it can be life-changing for you and your family. All right, so here is what the smart contract looks like. You can see the site, the website address up there, origindefi.io, but you can't get in it without a referral link. It's a private community, invitation only. Now, the numbers you're looking at, those are real-time numbers. I just downloaded those just 30 minutes ago. And I want you to see the treasury balance is over $466 million. The number of LGNS that's being staked right now is over $436 million. The current APY is over 945%. That means your money has the potential to double about 8 to 9 times within 1 year. And then also the market value, $5.9 billion. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to log in live, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing I want to share with you is an information website. It's called plantofreedom.info. You can go ahead and write that down. Plantofreedom.info. Spell it out, word, letter by letter. And the first thing you're going to see is a deep dive 50-minute overview video that takes you all into this program. In fact, on this page, everything you need to know about every aspect of this platform is right here on this page. Now, in the interest of time, we're going to be relatively short tonight, but you've got the ability to come here and do all the research that you need to do in the comfort of your own home. You can also see there's a company white paper here. But I need to tell you, the thing that meant most to me is what I'm going to show you right now. And I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to take a look at the due diligence. So one of the things that makes this project unique is that Origin has officially passed 2 audits by 2 global authoritative bodies, completing the full chain contract audit, that's the smart contract itself, was a company called Certec. And the treasury contract, which is where the money is held, that was conducted by a company called Armors. These audits, ladies and gentlemen, and there has been multiple audits, enables and allows us to sleep at night. That's one of the things that really meant a lot to me, having been involved in this industry for a long time. I've seen a lot of things. The last thing I wanted to do is get involved in anything that is not real. All right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to a website called Dex Tools. Now, Dex Tools is a decentralized exchange, and this is live. We're live on the internet right now. These are real numbers. What we're looking at right now is the first contract that we talked about that's been running for over 5 years. It's called Olympus Ohm. You can see the current value of the coin is $21.49. Now, this contract is built on the Ethereum blockchain. You might be familiar with Bitcoin, the #1 most popular cryptocurrency in the world. Ethereum is #2. Now, the Ethereum blockchain or network has a few challenges. The fees are relatively high and the transactions are relatively slow. So this development team went back to the drawing board and created LGNS. And this is the protocol that we are using right now. So this should be uploading right now for me. Give it just a second here. And this is LGNS. There we are. All right. So you can see the current value of the coin is $11.76. And I want you to see this is on the Polygon network. Now, the Polygon network is very fast and the fees are very little. In fact, they are just pennies. But let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. These are real-time numbers right now. The liquidity is over $452 million, which makes it very easy to buy and sell these coins. The market cap is over $5.96 billion. The number of holders, the number of wallets that are connected to this around the world is 1.66 million, is growing every single day. I want you to see here the 24-hour trading volume is over $52 million. And this protocol has been running successfully since March the 6th, 2024, over 19 months. All right. Now, when you go back to that main information page, plantofreedom.info, you see a bunch of resources here. One of them is you see the contract address. One of the interesting things about cryptocurrency is that everything is transparent. You can see all of the numbers. You don't have to take my word for any of this. You can research any of this yourself. But in addition to that, there is another website called Avi AI, which verifies smart contracts. And we're going to go straight there right now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and click on it, right? It takes us right to this page here. All right, there we are. Excellent. And so here's what I want you to see. I want you to see all of the green checks, ladies and gentlemen. Green is good and green means go. First thing you notice, it says renounce. What does that mean? That means the developers cannot change the fundamentals of this contract. They are locked down. The contract is open source. Anyone can see the numbers. The developers cannot tamper with the balance. Nobody can touch the money. The money is locked down. That was verified by that other company we looked at earlier. All right. The admin privileges have been abandoned. And also, the developers cannot take back ownership because this smart contract, it literally belongs to the world, just like Bitcoin belongs to the world. So these are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely real. So now let's go a little deeper. Let's go right into the contract itself. And we're going to take a look at a live account. Now, if you've got your calculator available, well, that would be a good thing because we're talking about compound interest right now. And we're going to crunch a few numbers. So the first thing I want you to see, this account has 1,406 LGNS staked in this account. Do you remember what is the current value of LGNS? It's about $11.80. If you put your cursor over this I right here, you can see that this account has $16,600 staked in it. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this just a little bit so you can see this. $16,600 staked into it. And this account has grown over time, right? To get to this point, right? So let's go ahead and let's just do a little math on this to show you what $1,600 and $600 could do for you if it was staked in this protocol. So the first thing we're going to do is come down here and we're going to look at what is the net reward yield, ladies and gentlemen. It is 0.2146. What does this mean? This account will earn 0.2146 every 8 hours. Every 8 hours. In other words, 3 times a day, triple compounding. All right. Now, here's the thing. Because of the compounding, what you earn tomorrow is more than what you earn today. What you earn the day after tomorrow is more than what you earn tomorrow. The longer you let time be time and let compounding work, the more rewarding that this is. And so when you're looking at this platform, you need to think 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. That's when the life change comes in. If you want to redeem the time, then you start with a larger amount at the very beginning. Are you with me? Now, I want you to see the 5-day rate, 3.2679. Some people don't even get that in 1 year on a major CD account. All right, so this is huge. See, when you stake, you are becoming a liquidity provider. You're putting up the money to help this protocol do what it does. You know, to process transactions. The money is coming from the transaction fees when people buy and sell the coins. But because you are a partner here, you get a percentage of those earnings. See, here's the problem with the banks. The bank uses our money to loan out mortgages and car loans, et cetera, but we don't get any of that. In fact, the bank pays us very little because we're customers of the bank. But suppose we could be a partner of the bank. And when they did those loans, we got a percentage of those loans. Well, the banks don't do that, but decentralized finance does. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's go a little further because we want to crunch some numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy the number of LGNS that this account has in it, right? And we're going to go down to a calculator that is built in to the system. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to put in the number of LGNS that's in this account. And maybe you can remember what I said is $16,600, right? And we're going to show you different amounts, so don't worry about the amount right now. But I want you to see here, this account in just 7 days, it starts with 1406 LGNS, but it's going to grow to 1471 because it's compounding, right? And it's growing at this rate, 0.2146. Now, I need to tell you something. Everything I'm showing you here right now is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a guarantee of income. Why? Because we're dealing with a market that goes up and down. It fluctuates. And so these numbers fluctuate as well. That's what it's like in the real market. But this is exactly where you want to be. This is the playing field that you want to be on, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So I want you to see. So this started with 1660. In 7 days, it grew to 17,365. All right? So if you were to pull out your calculator, let me go ahead and grab my calculator right quick. Stand by. There we go. So let's do some math. 1736, 17,365 minus 16,600, right? That's $765. So this account earned $765 in 1 week without this person doing anything. They didn't have to talk to anybody. They didn't have to build a team. They didn't have to sell anything. It's literally their money working for them. And they have access to all of this money at any time. They get in an emergency, they want to withdraw it all, they can. It'll be in their wallet within seconds. All right? Minus a 5% withdrawal fee. All right, let's go a little further. So suppose this person just left this because if they wanted to, they could withdraw that 765 and they still would have the 1660 here. So that what? It could produce another 765 the next week, right? But this person says, you know what? I want this thing to really maximize. And so I'm going to leave this and allow this thing to really compound, right? And so now let's just say they allow this to compound for an entire month. Now it's going from 1406 to 1706. It just went from 16,600 to 20,133. So let's see how much money this account generated in 1 month. All right. So 20,133 minus 16,600. That's $3,500, ladies and gentlemen. $3,533 in 1 month without this person talking to anybody. And if they get in a situation, they need all the money, they can take it all out or they can take part of it out. They could withdraw the 3,550 and still have the 1660 in there to produce another 3,500 or whatever the next month. Are you with me? All right. Let's say this person said, you know what? I'm going to let this compound because I know the longer I let it compound, the more money I'm going to make. And they let it compound for 6 months. All right. That $16,600, ladies and gentlemen, in this example, based on these numbers, would grow to over $52,828. Isn't that something? And let's say they allowed it to compound for 1 year, ladies and gentlemen. That $16,600 could grow to $173,607. Now, again, This is for entertainment and educational purposes. These numbers are going to vary. The value of the coin is going to go up and down as cryptocurrencies do, and the compounding rate is going to vary. But isn't this the playing field that you want to be on? Absolutely. No question about it. All right. So now let's go ahead and look at some other numbers because maybe you don't have $16,600 right now, right? Now, if we were trying to buy a car, we'd find a way to get it, right? Right? If we wanted to take that vacation, we'd find a way to get it. But we're talking about putting your money to work for you. What is the minimum deposit over here that a person could get started with because they could build it up over time, right? That would be $125. So let's just do a little math. We're going to take 125, we're going to divide it by $11.80, which is the current value of the coin. All right, that's going to be about 10.6 LGNS. All right, 10.6. All right, so that $125, about the cost of taking your significant other out to a movie and a dinner. You could spend that in one night very easily. What could that $125 do for you if you put it here and you let it stake for 1 year? Well, that could potentially grow to over $1,300 in 1 year, 125 to 1,300. That's pretty good. That would be a great Christmas fund, wouldn't it? Absolutely. But let's go a little further. What about $500? So we take $500, we're going to divide it by $11.80. That's going to give us 42.4 LGNS. So this is $500, guys. I want you to see this. What could that $500 do for you? That same $500 that you spent on that purse that you bought, right? Or maybe that suit or that pair of shoes that you bought, that same $500, if you put it to work for you, over here in 1 year, it could potentially grow to over $5,200, $5,200. Who would have thought, right? Okay, let's go a little further. What about $1,000? Let's do 84.8 LGNS. In 1 year, that $1,000 could potentially grow to over $10,000. That's a tenfold increase. That's your money doubling potentially 10 times. Do you know anywhere else where you have the potential to do something like that? Now, it's not going to be exact. It could be more, it could be a little less, but at least you're on the playing field. Are you with me? All right, let's go a little further. What about $5,000? All right, let's say you have $5,000 you want to put to work for you. That would be 423.72, $5,000 compounded over 1 year based on these numbers. That's over 52K. $5,000, 52K in 1 year. Why? Because you're leveraging compounding and time. It's working on your behalf. You ever hear people say how the time flies? Well, the problem is it's not working for you. If it was working for you, you wouldn't mind it flying so fast, right? All right, let's go a little further. What about $10,000? Because listen, you might be in a situation where you want to purchase a new house and you know you're going to need 6 figures. All right, or maybe you want to pay off your current mortgage, or you've got a child you want to send to college and you don't want to have to deal with college loans, right? So let's do $10,000. I'm going to do 847.46. Ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to see here, in 1 year, there's your 6 figures. 104,000. Now, listen, there are many ways that you can interface with this. You can add money over time. You can add money consistently. There's a ton of things that you can do to build this up. And should you decide that you want to share this with others, then that can be exponential. Now, we're not going to get into that on this call, but I'm going to share some resources where you can learn about that type of thing should you decide to share this with others. So hopefully you caught that. Let's go back to our PowerPoint to continue on. All right, stand by. All right. So now let me ask you a question. What is your monthly budget, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what it is? Go ahead and write it down. What is your monthly budget? Because one of the things we want to show you how to do here, we want to show you how to generate enough money to cover your monthly budget. Wouldn't that be great? if you could cover your monthly budget and you didn't have to depend on your job, your retirement check, your social security check, are you with me? A part-time job, right? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about a level of freedom that most people never experience, right? Now, once you come up with that number, I want you to do this, triple it. Now go ahead and triple it. All right. Once you have that number tripled, then you want to set a goal at that number. And you want to get started with this as soon as possible. And you want to work your way up to that number so you can have the level of freedom that you and your family deserve. Now, you may not get there right away, but in time, you can absolutely get there, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the reasons why this program is doing so well, growing the way it is growing, because it's absolutely real. Hopefully, you caught that, ladies and gentlemen, and this makes sense to you. Now, this is just a short overview. We're not going to keep you long, but if you want to do a deep dive, we've got some more videos for you. You can go to compoundearnings.com and watch a 30-minute overview. You can go to that project website, plantofreedom.info, and watch a 50-minute overview, as well as a ton of other videos that explain to you the reward program, the bonus program, and everything else that's involved here. If this has got your attention, ladies and gentlemen, you like what you heard, you want to get started, or you want to learn more, get in contact with the person who invited you on the call. They will answer any questions that were not covered during this overview. You've got access to those resources, but here's the most important part. They will literally walk you through the process and show you how to get started. You don't have to figure out anything. They will walk you by the hand, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do it in our community.